It is day 31 of the Zombie Hunter build, and I'm working on the Zombie Hunter, but I'm doing it remotely. I'm currently on my lunch break from work, so I had an hour lunch break. And in the meantime, what I'm doing is I am on Copart.com, and I am hopefully going to win a 1984 300 turbo diesel sedan. And the reason I want that car is because of the motor. So it has the 5-cylinder pre-85 turbo diesel. So it's a very, very simple engine, and it will be the ideal swap to get rid of the 2.3 liter gas engine that I have in the truck right now and toss in a diesel motor with the automatic transmission. And because I have a divorce transfer case in the G-wagon, then there's no issue with the 4-wheel drive. I'll still keep the stock transfer case, and I'll essentially have a 300 GD turbo diesel. The auction, I'm on Copart, and I believe the car is going to be up in 5 minutes. So unfortunately, I cannot purchase this car on here. I have a membership, but it's not, I guess there's certain auctions that you can bid on as a regular member, and there's other ones that for like dealerships and companies like that. So I have a family friend who has a auto body shop, and they also purchase salvaged cars and fix them all up so that they're legal and sell them with the salvage title, of course. So right now my car is up in 4 minutes, and hopefully, like right now we see Wisconsin, Montana, you can see where the people are bidding from. Hopefully we will see Illinois bidding on there, and I gave a maximum of $500 that I said I'm willing to spend on the car. If I can get that car for $500 and have a motor and transmission and everything on there, it's gonna be incredible. You know, I'm on a budget for this car, and I set aside the budget for the entire project to be $8,500. Right now I'm at about $6,000, and that's including the price of the car itself, or the truck. So, if I get this vehicle for $500 or less, and I can pull the motor, it's a very easy fix, easy swap. I could just put in the different mounts, and essentially it's just plug and play. So yeah, 3 minutes to go. Let's see how it goes. Hopefully we see Illinois win this auction for under $500. Over $500, it's going to be over my budget, so I'm just going to have to stick with the stock motor for the time being. But let's see how it goes. All right, so my car's coming up next. Right now we're looking at a 2006 Chevy Equinox. Some guy's going to win this car for 250 bucks. You get $250 in scrap for that car. So let's see how this one goes. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Come on, baby. Uh-oh. Yes. Yes. No way. Illinois bid. I just freaking won a car for $225. Holy crap. I just got the 5-cylinder ideal Mercedes 300 motor, transmission. I'm going to use a steering wheel. I'm going to use a bunch of the interior parts. So I just wanted a car for 250 bucks or $225. I'm so stoked right now. That's awesome. These motors are going on eBay, and it says it runs and drives. That's the major thing that I looked at. And it wasn't a flood damage. There's a lot of cars coming in from Houston that have flood damage. This one was a Wisconsin car, no flood damage, Wisconsin certificate. It was a donation. It runs, it drives. I can now work on that motor, restore it, get it all up and running. And I mean, it is running, but get it all, upgrade everything on it and make it all nice. So super happy. All right, so here's the Google sheet that I use to keep track of the Zombie Hunter build. Anything I purchase, I list in here, and then I'm trying to keep this project. I think a reasonable price for this entire project is $8,500. That's as much as I would like to invest in this thing. That includes the price of the vehicle, which I bought for $3,800. So I'm well under budget right now. I'm sitting at $6,300. And then, however, I just had another addition, which I just purchased a car for $225, which brings my grand total for the project so far to $6,500, $6,552, which gives me $2,000 to play with still before I reach my, the final total. And I couldn't pass it up. Literally, I paid, $20 more than what I paid for an aftermarket Chinese grill to put on the front of the car. Granted, that's going to be an awesome looking grill once I have it on there and stuff, but this is a way better deal, and I get a motor, I get a transmission, so I'll have the 300 in there, I'll have the automatic transmission. This car will be a great commuter at that point. Yeah, very excited about that. Not to mention, I also have the little miscellaneous pieces that I'm going to use on there, and then it'll which guy doesn't want to have a diesel, so very excited. So sitting at, I got 2,000 to play with still, and I'm sure I'm going to use some of that for buying motor mounts and things like that, but they do make 300 GDs, and all the parts are available from Mercedes, so I can literally purchase parts from Mercedes, put them in, and then just install the motor. And it's a pretty simple swap, I think. They're not very complex cars. So yeah, two grand to play with still. And then what I might do is I might sell some stuff, whatever parts I have, like the stock bumpers and whatever else. And if I sell it, I might put another section here with negatives, of what I sold it for, and try to bring this total down. If I do that, then it'll kind of bring the project total lower, and that means I have more money to invest in it. But we'll see. Very excited. Hopefully everything works out and I get this this car. I don't know if I have to pick it up. It's not too far from me, so maybe I might pick it up myself. We'll see how that works out. All right, so I just got off the phone with my dad. It's his buddy who actually has a shop that was able to bid on the auction for me. I have a Copart membership, but I guess there's different levels of membership. So I have the general one where I can bid on some auctions, but some of them are off limits for me. He has a shop that buys and sells vehicles and also repairs vehicles. So he's an auto body shop, and then he also fixes up salvage vehicles and sells them with the salvage title and everything. So what he let me know was that, yeah, I won the auction for $225, but that doesn't guarantee that I own the car yet. So I have to wait and see. Whoever the seller has to approve it. I don't necessarily think they won't, just because they probably will approve it, just because it was a donated vehicle. But if they feel they're going to make more money parting it out or whatever, then they might not approve the auction, and then either they relist it, or I don't know how it works. So fingers crossed that it gets approved and I just can pick up that car for $225, because if I do, then I just I just found a treasure chest, because those motors alone are selling on eBay for like over $1,000. The transmissions are probably another $800, $900 at least used. It's relatively low mileage, especially for those motors. It's a 210,000 miles I think on it, and they easily go 300, 400,000 miles, no problem. I do plan on rebuilding it a little bit, updating whatever needs to be fixed on it, but there's no reason I wouldn't be able to get another 250,000 miles out of that motor. The transmission too should be okay. The one thing about this auction that I specifically liked, and the reason I picked this car, was because it's located in Wisconsin, which is only Milwaukee, which is like about an hour and a half drive north of where I am in Chicago. And then on top of that, a lot of the cars on Copart right now, especially a lot of the old Mercedes that I was looking at, in that year, they were selling. They're all coming out of Houston. So there's a lot of flooded cars that are being sold. Water and flood damage is why they're being sold, or why they were listed as salvage. So I do not want any of those cars. Granted, there's going to be body rust and stuff on this car probably, but it's nowhere near the level of it actually being submerged and electronic nightmares and rusting, salt water, penetrating everything on the car. So that was good. And like I said, it's close. and I essentially, you know, I can pull. I want to pull the motor. I want to pull the transmission, and put that in the Zombie Hunter, and then the steering wheel. My Zombie Hunter has a early G-wagon 1970s style 2-spoke steering wheel. I want to get rid of that. I'll put in the more traditional 1980s Mercedes 4-spoke one that they had, so that this car has. So I'll take that. I'll take a bunch of the buttons out of there, take whatever trim pieces or whatever. Stereo, I don't know if I'm going to update my stereo. I probably will, but in any case, I'll pull this one out. I mean, I had an old Becker stereo in my old G-wagon that I had, and I ended up selling that on eBay for a pretty good price. Some guy put it in his BMW. So we'll see. I don't know what stereo this has in it, but I'll take apart everything that I could possibly take apart and sell, and then sell the rest of the car or send it off for scrap. So there's easily $200 in scrap just alone. So hopefully they'll pay me some money for that, and I'll make my money back and then have all this stuff for free.